Hey guys, so it's update 25. So I managed to get some printer ink. Had to order it off of Amazon, so I started to continue printing out my backgrounds. You can see now, at least on this section, it goes all the way to the end. We've got a little updated street scene right there. And the background mountains go almost to the end there. Still got to do a little bit more. But then I also constructed and built the facades for two of the buildings. So this is one here. This actually is not being serviced by the spur right there. It's just a building on the side. And then we've got United Polymers over here. And the funny thing is, the sign there for United Polymers, it's actually not the correct sign, because the one for the United Polymers in La Mirada, California, the sign, I couldn't get a good picture of it, and it's just kind of a small company or something like that. So that's actually the United Polymers sign from like a British company. But hey, whatever, it's United Polymers. And then also got a little bit of background scenery printed out here. We'll probably adjust that one a little bit. It's supposed to be like a warehouse out in the back there. You can see truck loading docks and everything. I think it looks pretty good from down here. Still got to continue the mountain right there. And then in between Southern Wine and Spirits and well, it's actually Athearn. This is the name of the company if you look at the sign there. Got a little building there in the background with a tree and some cars parked back there. Put up a couple of pieces of that fence that I got from Walters that I was going to be using for the Sanford & Son salvage, but instead decided to throw it on here. Looks pretty good. Here's some of that bushy stuff. It actually fell over because I've been screwing around with it over here. I gotta kind of get this stuff glued into place here. But generally, that's the view. I think that little scene right there came out looking good. Still got to do something with these ginormous palm trees sticking up out of the building there. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that I got at least the mountains all the way to the edge of the layout right there. Still got to do a little bit of work there. And again, if you look, those palm trees might look familiar because basically what I did was from about here on, I just reversed. You can see that sort of peak. I basically just inverted the image and printed it out so I could continue it on that way. So the plan is to have some kind of buildings or something right here that'll cover up most of the palm trees, maybe something back there too. The street scene here, I've been kind of playing around with it and trying to get it to look right. You know, it still kind of looks a little funky with the street sort of going back behind the building here. So I might change that around a little bit. I actually printed this out again. This isn't the original one that I had. And I added in a little bit more street right here, which makes that car right there look really big. So I might adjust that just a little bit, kind of bring that whole thing forward, cut the end of this building off right here, because I think it sort of blended easily or better with the other sort of view that I had off of Google Street View there. And then you can see where this cuts off, so I had to put in a little bit of extra mountain sort of background right there. If we take a really close look, you can see that it's basically a couple of different things. This is one mountain. Here's the background mountain. The building and the street here is all a separate piece. So there's like multiple layers right there. Looks good from a distance, but then I think from right here again, it kind of looks like there's a street going back behind the building, so we got to kind of fix that up. Either that or when we take pictures, we do something like that. A little trickery there. Magic. It's all smoke and mirrors over here. That's basically what model railroading is, I think, right? Kind of. Anyway, so yeah, so that's been the big update, is that I have been working on all of these buildings and the backdrops there, sorry. I ended up putting some tape over here. I don't really like the way that works. You know, you can kind of see the tape lines right over there. On the newer section here, what I did was I actually taped it from behind as one big strip and then basically put that in. So I think I'm going to redo these mountains here eventually. We'll see. Just to get rid of these lines right over here. But yeah, the buildings are coming out good. I'm really liking the United Polymer building here. I picked the... Let me see if I can get a closer look at it here. We'll get this thing out of the way. But I picked out, basically from a street view, I picked out a building that sort of looked nice and had a little bit of interest. You know, it had some arching here and, you know, it had nice coloring and everything. And I took a snapshot of just one square, duplicated it all the way along, and then grabbed that, pasted that into the picture, printed it all out, glued it onto the actual building. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. The other news I've got here is Liberty vegetable oil. I think I'm going to be getting rid of it. It's not going to be Liberty vegetable oil. I mentioned this in the other update because I don't know, having two industries right here in the same spur, and a lot of times this one didn't get serviced or the car was just left there or whatnot. So I think what I'm going to do is just have United Polymers, and that's going to be their spur. We'll keep the tanks and stuff like that. Who knows? We'll put some more stuff over here. But one industry right here I think is enough. And yeah, it's looking good. This guy right here, I just moved that for the shot, but this is supposed to represent Shasta Beverage, and they will be getting tanker cars. So still got to build that up. And let's see, what else did I do? A lot of grass planting over here. You can see I've got little green tufts all along here, all the way pretty much almost to the end right there. And I still got to do a few more. And then the plan is still to have some sort of a parking lot area over here, and then a little bit of raised, little hill right over here of some sort to kind of divide up the layout. All right, so here you get a good view of let's see, everything going on right there. And then yeah, I haven't done anything else on the other side of the layout. Sanford & Son over there at the end, still pretty much a junkyard. There's a pun. And the other thing I discovered is I've been using JMRI, you know, to do operations. And what I've been doing is I kind of redid all of my industries. So, you know, in JMRI you have like locations. And so I had the locations as the sort of towns. You know, like this is Huntington Beach. This is like Westminster. You know, and then I had the individual industries in there. So I changed that up and I basically just redid all of them. And I made each location an industry, right? So Southern California Edison is one location. You know, Terrazzo and Marble back there is another location. And then the spur tracks themselves are basically within the location. What that allows me to do is I can create trains and routes that go specifically to each industry or group of industries. And so what I've been doing is I've been playing around doing a route that services basically everything on this side, and I'm calling this the south side of the layout, right? The other side over here is the north side. You know, because we run out of LA and down through Orange County all the way to Huntington Beach over here. Where's my finger? There it is. Anyway, so yeah, I did a route in a train that services everything from Stanton, and which includes well, the only thing in Stanton is Sanford & Son salvage right there, and then all of the industries here, just to get a feel of, you know, what it's like to actually run the trains over here. And what I discovered, if you remember, I had a building right here, and actually it's sitting right, where is it? There it is, trainworld.com. I kind of didn't like the way that building stood right here. It sort of blocked out a good portion of the view because it kind of stood up high right here. And so there was like a building in the way of everything I wanted to see out here. And so I think I'm going to skip the building here. I'm going to do the gantry over here. And we might do sort of out here on this side, we might have a little bit of a building right there because nothing really happens over here, right? So that's the plan right now, or at least that's sort of what I've discovered after running trains through this side of the layout here, which I think is a good idea for you to do, kind of mock things up and then do some operations before you really settle in on, you know, having buildings or certain types of scenery or something like that. Don't mind this thing. This is actually part of the mountain back there, and you can see it's actually two sections taped together here. And yeah, so that's actually the end that was. Swing this around right over there. So that was kind of continuation of this, so I just basically cut it right there. I'm going to keep that just in case I do a backdrop in this area so we can kind of maybe continue it on or something like that. So yeah, that's the update there. Everything's looking good. Looking forward to continuing my printing of my backdrop here. I want to do that here a little bit later today. I just want to finish up the mountains over here and then see what I can do about the palm trees here and maybe adjust the street scene right over here. I mean, it looks pretty good as it is, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Watch along as I model the Southern California, UP, Orange County, whatever I want to call it here, model railroad line. Till next time, guys, take care and enjoy some model railroading there tonight. Bye.